I need to be live so that we can start the show. Hi, man. It's so nice, man. It's so nice, to not have issues when you log in, eh? To not be sitting here screaming and shouting, just to have a really nice show. Last night was really nice. Didn't have issues, So Chiefs must give us more of these days, man. Yeah, usually I'd be off to the races right now. Be off to the races going ham right now. But it's fine. They heard us. Guys, can you hear me? Just let me know in the comments. Sfiso. No, yeah. Ekhaya liwina izolo. Itanki swinile izolo. Cookies, that last goal. No time for that. No time for that, guys. We're happy today. I still have it, Prim. Thank you for the confirmation, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start the show. Welcome, everybody, to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mokwena. I am your host, a smiling George Mokwena today. I'm your host. This show happens every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and then Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. As well. We also do watchalongs, as we did for Orlando Pirates and also for Kaizer Chiefs, as we'll do for the Derby on Saturday and also the AFL on Sunday. So join me on those days too. If you missed out on any of the shows, you want to hear what we had to say about any of the variety of topics we've spoken about, it's not just match reviews. They are available on Facebook and on YouTube in full. So do me a favor of following the TikTok account, follow the Facebook page, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to add your voice to the show, if you're listening to the show, I have panels of people who come in. If you want to add your voice, you have to be following me on TikTok. Join me while I'm live on TikTok. There'll come a time where I'll say I'm opening up the lines. The button at the bottom of your screen that says multi-guest will appear. Click on that, request. I'll let you in, and then we can have a conversation. Okay. So we had a match yesterday at FNB, an empty FNB, reminded us of 2019, but we have press conferences from there. So I'm going to put in the press conference, and let's hear from some have coaches, some have technical directors who are coaches. Let's hear from Sean Connor, who is the technical director of Oh, wait, before I do that, who is the technical director of Cape Town Spurs. And let's hear what he had to say about this game.
Football, you can't stand off good players like we did. They're coming out of a tricky period. I think we made it relatively easy for them. And we get to know the stand off good players like we did. They're coming out of a tricky period. And I think we made it relatively easy.
Can you guys just let me know? You can't hear him.
And then we decided we're going to play a game of football. So I was pleased with the application, the attitude just before half time, and then obviously the other second half. It could have been a different story if we'd had to hit the crossbar and come back out. But such are the margins at this level of football. And we talked about it last week with the players, and that's what happened today.
Thank you very much. We give members of the media a chance to pose questions. Please, your name and name of your publication, and straight to the...
Okay. Sorry about that. For the TikTok guys, let's start over. Can you guys hear it now?
They're coming out of a tricky period. And I think we made it relatively easy for them. And we get to know this in the front. And then we decided we're going to play a game of football. So I was pleased with the application, the attitude just before half time, and then obviously for the second half. It could have been a different story if we'd had to hit the crossbar and come back out. But such are the margins at this level of football. And we talked about it last week with the players, and that's what happened today.
Thank you very much. We give members of the media a chance to pose questions. Please, your name and name of your publication, and straight to the question. Not using a mic, so go for it.
Coach, the game on Sunday, the Richards Bay game, that's obviously a proverbial 6-pointer. many changes from today's approach? Different. I mean, this was a beautiful playing surface, which presumably you're not going to get.
Yeah, look, listen, it's going to be a totally different game because the implications for both sides, really. I'd love to have gone there with at least a point because we would have kept the unbeaten run going. But I think we're going with a bit of confidence. We'll come here and score 2 goals, hit the crossbar like we did, and probably create another 2 or 3 half chances in the second half. There's enough positives out of the game to take so that we go there. We know it's going to be a massive task away from home. We know that they're going to dig in and work hard, but we certainly can't afford to start like we did tonight.
Take it on. Alex, I'm not going to interfere.
Coach, it's not every day you see a 17-year-old coming on and not just playing well, but also scoring and giving you hope like that.
Yes, I spoke about him last week. I don't really want to indulge too much about him because, like you say, he's a 17-year-old and we need to keep his feet on the ground. But he's a great prospect. He sniffs out goals like he did today. My job is to keep his feet on the ground, keep him focused, and get him to the next level where I believe he can go.
When you look at the side, Coach, do you think you've joined after the anomaly of, let's say, 4 or 5 successive defeats? Do you think this is not a relegation side? From what you've seen of the other teams as well in the nether regions alongside you?
I don't think we're a relegation side. No, I think some of the football we play is better than a lot of teams above us. I think even early on, they were unlucky in games that I watched. Were punished for mistakes. Even today, in the first half we worked on making sure our fullbacks closed down the wide men and the midfielder doubled up. We didn't do that twice, and both crosses led to goals. I think the second one, Rushman slips. So it's amazing. When I took over, there were 7 defeats in a row. But yet the confidence within the group, the spirit within the group was strong. I work with them. Do we have deficiencies in our squad? Yes, we do. But are we the worst squad in the league? No, I don't think so.
Okay, let's hear from Coach Kevin Johnson. Huh?
Good evening, guys. It's our second game together, 48 hours of training, and I thought it was a game of lots of patches. We've got to give credit to Cape Town Spurs. I thought they gave us a good run for our money, but we've been working very hard at being a lot calmer, being a lot calmer, playing the ball better, getting the ball in certain areas that we think we can hurt teams. And I thought the 3 goals we scored were the way we trained. And I have to give credit to them. I thought, like I said, they put in a good shift in patches, but football is made out of moments. And the moments that we wanted to score, we scored the goal, but then we also dropped our heads for the moments we conceded. And when you look at the goals we conceded, all coming in very late. The first one, critical moment of the game, and the second one that we conceded also late in the game. And then you have a team like Cape Town Spurs who have, I think there were Springboks in the team, who run a lot. And you have a player like Keegan Buchanan who can pinpoint a pass. And you have a player like Relani coming on who can hold the ball better. We find ourselves on the back foot. But like I said, football is of moments, and we were able to contain those moments and win the game. So I thought Kaizer Chiefs really rebuilding, and rebuilding something positive for the next few games of the PSL.
Thank you very much, Coach. Let's go and roll like we did previously.
Yes, Coach Velina from SABC. Yes, congratulations on the win, Coach. Is it a concern you've considered 4 goals now? in 2 matches, and when we look in the fashion and you've considered, also some problems there, especially centrally in the defense. What would you look at this and how to solve it?
Yeah, that's not an overnight solve. I think it's always the pairing of the two centre backs, your left back and your right back, how they complement each other. And yeah, it's not. We've noted that we've conceded 4 goals. Not good for a team as big as Kaizer Chiefs, but we just like all other teams. We are looking at it and we will try and get it.
Coach Lorenzo from Dstv Times, like you said, you're trying to be more calm, play short passes. We saw that in the first 30 minutes, but like many times over the past few seasons, they just switch off, the team switches off and lose control of the game. Why does that keep happening when in the beginning stages they look so confident and like they're in control of the game?
The drugs we give years off. Now, I still have to put my finger on it. And like I say, the game of football is made in moments. And you got to know how to, I think the team has to learn how to use those moments to their advantage and not be the same way, like you say, in 30 minutes, but over 90 minutes. So we need to pack a little bit more and emphasize a little bit more how to hold it, when to hold it, when to at least complete the action against the opponent. But it's a process, and I just hope we have enough time to solve that process, and it can be a better team to watch.
What's the decision to leave Brandon out?
Okay. I'm gonna stop it there. So that we can start our conversation. For those that want to watch the full interviews, they are available on the Dstv Fans channel on YouTube. Shout out to Dstv Fans for giving us those visuals and going out and getting these press conferences done. I'm going to start before I let open. And today it's not going to be my normal starts, guys. It's not going to be my normal going off starts and whatever. I think that what I appreciated from yesterday's game is that we saw something different. Was it perfect? No. Is it something that, were they playing amazingly excellent? Not really. But for 30 minutes, we saw a team that, as the coach said, was composed. We saw a team that could string 2, 3, 4, 5 passes together. I don't know how many times we've seen that. We saw a team that played down the middle and had our midfielders actually interact with each other. So I said it last week that last week I was hard on Kevin Johnson because it seemed as though the players were doing the exact same things they were doing under Unzeki. And they were setting up the same, and you could tell that they were doing everything exactly the same. And I'm glad to see that after a couple more days, he's been able to get a hold of this club and maybe start doing something. There will be issues. I think one of the big issues from yesterday's game was that you go 2-0 up and you need to be able to carry on going. You need to be able to carry on looking for the goals. We speak about Pirates a lot of the time. If Pirates goes 2-0 up versus you, they could score 4 or 5. They're not going to stop going. And I think what happened yesterday was that Chiefs switched off. When you got those 2 goals, we switched off. Job well done, and we started relaxing. And that's where the goal came from. The 2 goals that were scored are a worry. 2-0 up, 2-1. 3-1 up, 3-2. Now you have to go back into tense moments. If you watched us yesterday, it was like a roller coaster ride. So I think that's something Kevin Johnson needs to work on. But I'm not going to go too hard on the team right now. They showed us glimpses of some incredible play. And I think coach might have gotten the substitutions wrong. The moment we lost to Shabalala, you could see that the game started taking a little bit because he was the only one really who carried on pushing after we'd gotten the leads. I think we need to speak about the defense, especially the left-hand side. if Dove pushes up, it exposes Ditlokwe. So we can't have those type of things happen, especially versus a Paris team that's going to attack us in those channels. I think the other thing that I'm not going to put too much weight on this performance is that there were no fans. And I think you could also tell from watching the game that there was a different feeling towards this game, and there was a different intensity when we were playing this game. And I think some of it came down to not having fans there, not having the pressure of the fans, not having the noise of the fans, the expectations of the fans directly there. Playing that empty stadium turned out for me to be a blessing in disguise. We will see what happens when fans are allowed back in, and when we go into the Soweto derby and the games after that. See if the players can handle having that pressure. Coach spoke about them being calm. It's tough being calm in front of 90,000 fans. It's tough being calm in front of 10,000 fans that are threatening to throw things. So let's see how that's going to play out. All in all, it's not a perfect game. It wasn't a perfect 90 minutes. We had a very good 30 minutes. The 60 minutes could be a little bit worrying, but I'm just glad that we saw something different. Abonkosing Pilengobo came to the game. You saw him control that midfield. Abo Shabalala put in their shifts. Abo Chiba Vairo, Saile even scored. So, yeah, let's not put too much on this. I don't want to go too positive or too negative. I want to play it down the middle because that's what we saw, especially knowing that this is Kevin Johnson's second game in. But we'll see how they play. I'm going to open up the lines, guys, and please request. There's going to be a button that appears at the bottom of your screen that says multi-guest. Click on that button on TikTok. Click on that button, request. I'll let everybody in 4 at a time, and we'll have our conversations like we normally do. Let's see who's here. I saw there were some people that were here, guys. Okay. Theo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
How are you, Mr. OT? I'm so good. I'm good.
Oh, hey, 3 points in Nandi, man.
I'm so yazi ulala kube ngathi kunomfazi okurabhayo la ngemuva manje mangena 3 points uzukhohle nokuthi hey konje umuntu kumele avuke ekseni yeah imnandi kabi yo
I'm gonna ask you two questions. Yeah. Hey, there's a bit of an echo, but it's fine. Let's carry on. How did you see this game? And then number 2, combination play. Finally back at Kaizer Chiefs. What are your thoughts?
Let me greet you, Mr. OT. Greet all amakhosi amahle. Nalaba basikhaphile ke bazosidelela kodwa kusala uswinile. Asikazi sashawa abantwana. Ngesishawe abantu abadliwe 8 games. Ngeke. So siyawenza umsebenzi wethu thina. Angeke sibanjwe nje bafana abancane. But Mr. OT, back to the game. Oh wow, man. I think it was an incredible game. Sadly, after the game I went, almost lento esihluphayo ukulalela abantu abarong. But let me not mention, but I will just say my brother, then you know who I'm talking about. Hey, I went to that show. Nice story with Mara happy, they spoiled my happiness. They spoiled the game for me. Because, it's so sad to hear people, when Chiefs lose 1-0, the game is boring. When Chiefs wins 1-0, the game is boring. Chiefs wins 3-2, the game is boring. Gan Bafuna 5-0, then they will say the game was interesting. Guys. For me, Mr. OT, the game was very interesting, guys. It was one of the games that I think it was a game of 2 halves. As a Chiefs supporter, I wouldn't say it was a great game because we nearly drew the game or lost it at best. But it was a very great game. Based on the combination play, man, man. Oh, those boys. I asked you guys that coach remember Shabalala was our star player last season. All of a sudden, you come in when you put him on the bench, he's non-existent anymore. So, I think first half, the coach got the tactics on spot, like spot on. Everything was on point. The way we were playing, moving the ball. I know this commenting Zoishoma is gonna shock 90% of the people. Without Matt, even a see win the game. Without Matt, Manje, hey, yazi, I don't know whether coach yamvusa or uyasithusa ngoba kuzitavi. Hey, I don't know. But guys, for me, he had a great game. He had one of the best games of his seasons. Like since the Figure Chiefs, the only games where I've seen where by Ilis Katzlal and the Marisbeck shot for one, and then we played against Pirates, that goal that he scored. I think he had a great game. And Laizolo, it was just like oh man, it was a cupcake. He was eating it so nicely, defensively, attackingly, breaking down play, crosses. I mean, everything was just on point. But I don't know. I also want to talk about Kosing Pilengobo, Ushabalala. Okay. Hey, Abo Matala, man. Hey, Tuli, guys. Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about Tuli. I don't know to lie to you. If they gave him man of the match, if they gave Tuli man of the match, that's just a pirate. That's a guy lose. But anyways, I'm glad they didn't give it to him. But going back to Castillo, guys. Oh, guys. Okay, he scores, ne? But there's a very painful thing that it does that I feel like some of us are not aware. When we have the ball, it disappears, guys. He disappears. It's like he's not even in the game. And that's when now when we go and we attack, we bring crosses, we shoot, that's when you see him. Oh, there he is. We have all, but also besides that, at the back, Utov, I mean, I don't know. Utov, I thought was a great player. I don't know what's wrong with him, guys. I don't know what's wrong with him. That left side is like your weakest point yet. I'm starting to be very disappointed. And also, okay, guys, I know things support, right? But Matt kept on coming to assist him. But Utoluguti, yeah, na futu kupuka kakulu, and then Jongo Bushu, I expose Oban Gonjolom to move. And hence now, the clock now has to commit. When the clock commits, the minute they go past with the clock, it's another story. Yeah, but even that goal cross by was the very same thing. Yeah, but another thing in Fungu at and go cleaner based on the subs coach. I don't wanna lie to you, Mr. OT. If Uzwane wants to put Abu Bandum Fanalo, Abu Castile Penchin, Abu Mate Penchin, he needs to work his ass off. You cannot come in as a substitute. Guys, we're winning. It's 2-1 score. Or we need you to be busy. Like be that player that's gonna put pressure on the opponents. Like Baksabe, but he's busy jogging. Bampasi Paula is losing the ball. Okay, this guy's attack. He did something, but I don't expect him to be that much attackingly. I want to see him more defensively. If he can, I want to to Kim Vudi. He's doing exactly what Kim Vudi is doing. Yeah. You come in, you impress at certain point, and then you disappear. Yeah, but other than that, man, I think it was a great game. The tactics were on point. The ball rotation, guys, you can't tell me good even we did 7 touches and we scored. When did you last saw that? 7 touches, boom, boom, bang, Sailuya Kora. That's what I want to see. That's what we wanted to see. I could unzeki besimzon. Unzakufaka 7 yama defender. Betufuna Shaizanda. No, you can't, guys. We rather lose like this. I wonder if we draw or lost yesterday, I was going to be impressed. I was going to be angry, but I would have still been impressed. And another thing, Mr. Oti, Ukune is needed in that team. Not as a short stopper. Look at his passes. Have you seen Ukune Zola Shai Polanga Pandli? Every time Makasusi Polushanga Pandu Peterson, Ukune will mix them twin, and that's what we want. So we had a great game, my guy, a very great game.
I know, man chabule so nyaniega nkulume ngoba man Gunin is complaining. Let me go to Elvis. Elvis, Wally Cosby, how are you?
I'm great, thanks, my man.
Right. 2 questions. How did you see the game yesterday?
So I was everybody like yeah, cash up, carry on.
Oh, Nagere, 2 questions. How did you see the game yesterday? And then combination play, finally back at Kaizer Chiefs.
No, I can't guarantee that. Let me start with the second question. You got to give me taken too much. I can't guarantee it or it's a combination play. It's just the starting like we just need to upgrade our game. Find the combination right. Because we're facing Orlando Pirates and this is going to be a big game. So we don't have to relax. So I was trying to relax. Pirates are 2 goals. So then I go relax. Make sure you score more than 4 goals or 5 goals. So game mama one key one, but abadlalile abafana, so but to concede, like it's
Mara,
like
ala thabela ntho e mnate
uncle versus
manenyane.
nephew.
Yeah? Ala
No,
thabela ntho e
no,
nyane.
it's not a big performance.
Le 30 minutes early, man.
It's
We
not
saw
a
something
performance.
different.
No, it's only early or three. So you can drop a performance, you can drop. You can next coming games. You can want to Russell Chiefs le Cape Town Space. Re ka wina mara ba thapa ka ne ya ka 1-0, ne? But I no, they have tentja like I get it, man. Look, kubu ka Bartman man. I told you
Yeah.
about Bartman yesterday. Ne? What's happening ka Mfundu, ka Villa guys, ka Villa. What's happening? Because I say one, like I can say that. O lebelele mfana ba re ke rato mo ko Orlando Pirates. O lebelele mfana la ko Sundowns ba re ke mang le re mapena or ke go ne le mfana mo
Mapena,
exactly we echi Villa guys. Obrigado ko MDC lisa mo shiko sini. Di PS ja ga bona di diranda ko field. Di PS di lebelele di dirang ko field.
Tshwantse le revive, tshwantse le qale ka Shabalala. Before le tlisa ba bang, tshwantse Shabalala Zwane, a bona bench le bo Kgatebe. Ke bona tshwantse ba qalelle bona before re bona bo Mfundo.
Mara ba fi gameplay. Tutori le ba ka tshia Mfundo ko senior ba tlo mfa game time. Papala go fa bo samkelo, ba fela papala go fa bo samkelo Zwane a game time. Samkelo is a ball maker. Umnati mfanele.
Okay,
So
okay.
now, like I'm a little bit disappointed to concede. You got to fan over 17 years. Little experience, so. No. The ball bag, but take the ball bag too much. You can level sharp the ball bag.
Yeah.
Under pressure, Mara, Tibor Jala ball bag. Yeah, take keep on space, Mara, still.
Okay. Ke tlo gutla ke a.
Let me be short. You must me like.
Oh, spanning. Okay, no, hit me.
Sure.
Charis. Hi, man. It's like we've got PTSD, man, as Chiefs fans. Even when they do something nice, even if it's little, man. 30 minutes in Yana. Hey, we're still going off. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you, bro?
I'm good. How did you see the game yesterday? And did you like the combinations, at least in that first 30 minutes?
Yeah, the first thing I would say is in the panel we need an opposition. I'd say Alexander one, Pagamisu 7.
Hey.
But I watched the game last night. I'm just gonna be quick so that you allow the rest of the people to come in and share their opinions and comments. So I watched the game yesterday, and I think going into the derby, Chiefs fans shouldn't use that game to measure Kevin. You know, I saw glimpses of good things last night. I could see them doing like 6 passes in a row without losing the ball, which was quite impressive. You checked out their ball rotation in the first half. In the middle field, Umar, was this other guy was wearing jersey number 12, Nobo, and Castillo. They were moving the ball very well in the first 30 minutes. And I kind of feel like they lost momentum, going into the second half and so forth, which happens in football when you've got a new coach and so forth. They're still trying to find the rhythms. They're still trying to find the combinations there and there. But there was just good things all over the pitch. You know, they could score like 3 goals, which they haven't done in a while. When last did you really see Kaizer Chiefs scoring 3 goals? When last
open play goals like that?
Yeah, when last did you see both of their strikers coming in and scoring 2 goals? So it actually shows how much they've actually been struggling. Yes, and I heard you saying something like without the fans, it was actually a blessing in disguise for them. I think they were off the pressure from the fans and all those kind of stuff. So it was more like a training session for them, which was good. You know, you could hear the voices of the players screaming because at some point we questioned the commitment of these players. because you can't really hear a lot of stuff on what's happening in the pitches. Are the leaders trying to communicate with their fellow players and so forth, of which with Kaizer Chiefs yesterday, I think Kevin has instilled something in there. You can see they're communicating, man. You can see they're starting to gel very well. Yes, the other game, the previous one, was not impressive and so forth, but with this previous game that they've just played last night, I think they can build something from that. And Elvis, I heard him saying something about bringing young talents into the squad. It's easy to bring young talent into the squad when you have a winning momentum in the team. Like it's that easy. Chiefs is a big team, especially in South Africa. You know, there's always pressure for each coach which comes in there. So as a coach, you're definitely thinking of, am I in here so that I can keep my help this team, you know, win at least five games in a streak, and then try to bring in these boys there and so forth. Because if you bring them in a setup where it's already messy, they're bound to make mistakes. They're not going to excel. Because the people are supposed to show them the way, they are not really in good form per se. So if you bring them when we've got a team which has a winning formula, winning momentum, it's easy for these boys to come and excel, and you see how they tick with the rest of the squad and the players. So right now it's difficult for any coach who would come into Kaizer Chiefs just to try and change the whole setup. You know, you need a little bit of experience. I know they haven't been doing well, but at least you need 1 or 2 or 3 players who have been there doing it for them back then, even when they were struggling. You can't just put all those boys in there and say, okay, guys, do this. At least with Shabalala has been there. Last season he was playing. He was doing quite well for them. Ngobo was there as well. He was doing well. So I was happy seeing those 2 boys back in the starting lineup, and of which I think they've done amazingly well. Now, like they've got the depth now. Chiefs has depth. They have serious depth right now, even in the middle of the park. Teta was out, by the way, last night. He wasn't in there. So
when he comes back,
so imagine, when he comes back, imagine if they start building a good winning momentum for them going forward on what's going to happen. It will be quite impressive. And I just wish them all the best going into the derby. If they win the derby, I feel like that will motivate them a lot going forward.
Okay. No, Charis, I hear you. Even though, man, we win the derby anyway, guys. Come on, let's, you know, if we don't score, Evan Da scores for us. Hey, Lebza, welcome to the show. How are you?
Sikosi, helele masi, sikosi, helele ma. Hey, bro,
what's up? Hi, man. Let's sharp. How are you, my brother?
Yeah, another tabile, man. Hey, Timmy Jalile, man. Gore le la bofelo re bona team e tshameka so combination play. Ma bona yes, season e re dira winner ne, but ne ke se convinced gore re win, but mo ba ke bone something gore no entle ke e ka be re tsalile ka Kevin Johnson, maybe ka be re le kgole, maybe ka be re le mo position 3 position 4, but re tla re ba ke thabile ke bone ntho tse di monate maabane man tse di monate ke fela gore a bona re ka lokisa mola ko morago, that left side le re tlo ba sharp. Then Castillo ke batla go mmona mo a tshameka mo middle fielder thata. Yes, ke itumela delayed run tsa gago ko boxing, wa bona re attack gore o tsena mo boxing, but ke batla go mmona a dropile mo middle mona le ena a tsama go tshameka the combine. Then Ngobo ba tisitse normal du sa ba la ke happy go ba bona bashimane ba babedi ba ke fela gore is ba be leng ba tsengwa after second half ba dropa game bo pule modile le bo re ke Mdudu Zindantsane ba itlhe ba bolaya game ke mo ka be ile ba tsena ba itlha ba zama go go improve a game ba bontsha gore ra dabile plus ra dabile tshwanetse re be strong re ba tshose gore ba be wa re itikoda ba le ba ma-Pirates ba but a bona re ka tswelela so if even re ka jewa ka Saturday but re ka dlala the way ne re dlala ka teng maabane the first 30 minutes kore re tla re build the character mo di-playereng a kgole gona re ka ya kgole maybe mo position 3 before re ka ba lwela for segolo le 18 bontse kiba ba re senyeditse setlhopha but ke itumetse ke fela gore a utlwa bona ke thabile then ke re ke shebella UEFA ka itshenyetsa Manchester United ya mpolaya.
No, wabona rona Arsenal e winne ke shapo ke thabile nna ke right. A ke tsebe ka lona. But ke tlo gutla. Let me go to Theo. You know when I'm exam now. You know mapali test paper abathini lama exam lawo that you write at home. Mawibhala eroomini uyi1 uphethe zonke izinto. Yazi kumnandi uyabhala kube mnandi. But then kufika iphepha in a different situation. Do you think that how much did the fans not having fans at the stadium, how much did it affect this game? Ngoba bebazilulile badlala kamnandi, they didn't have any worries. Mara mase khona ama fans sirasa lapha. Bazokhona ukudlala.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. There's just a delay.
Okay, let me respond to that. Okay, yeah. Mr. Otsimina, to be honest with you, when it comes to the fans part, guys, you saw that picture that I sent in the group, yabo. I kind of agree with it, like, and I know it's not easy, but yeah, not to say that, I'm a fans of Chiefs, they are bad, they are corrupt, yabo, but, I'm a fans, they have two elements to it, yabo. Go kala coach. I think this is uzwane uhambiswe yithi, let's be honest. Unse kuhambiswe yithi, and Kevin Johnson is doing very well so far. Not me, that's why I'm not rating Kevin Johnson, guys. I am not rating him. I'm just seeing his philosophy. Remember, I said I wanna see his philosophy, his style of play. Is gonna fit nicely, whatever. So his philosophy already is showing you, okay, this guy ufuna ukwenza iChiefs idlale. But sadly, let's say for an example, what happened yesterday, like Golden Arrows, where we were leading 2-1, they come back, they beat us 3-2. Let's say it happened yesterday. Our fans were gonna start calling his head. No, he's making mistakes. Why understand? Not understanding Guti, he's just starting. It's like he's trying to introduce himself in a way, and already we can see his fingerprints there. And they're okay, he's bringing young stars. Also, I want to comment on the young He's bringing young stars. So Magnama fans, Mr. OT, if you remember the game, Mushabalala Laluza Konipola, then they score. Magnama fans, some of them, they start shouting at the player, they start doing certain things. And yesterday, you saw Guti, as that's what I always want. When Shabalala is the ball, boy, whether you lose the ball or not, it's fine. Just do your thing. Because if he minuses a player, we can score. If it doesn't minus the player, they can score. It's fine, but at least let him do something. So our fans, I think they cannot take it so quickly. They want, like, Kaizer, to be honest, I'm going to go magic this thing. I want exactly what the coach said. We're playing in patches. If the fans were there, they wouldn't want patches. You understand? Even now, as I said, Abanye, they are still saying Mati Nkomo. Look at how Mati has improved yesterday. You watched that game yesterday. Manager coach would be confused with it will be confusing. But if the fans were there in the field, it would have been something different. Maybe Mati would have not finished the game, or maybe someone those elements. So I think it's helping, but it's also not gonna help Kutabi. Kutabi is our thing very thing. Which is molest the Pirates. Sorry to use that word, but so we need the fans. We need the 12 men. So in the derby, we need them. But in certain games, I don't think we need them, guys. Because you watch how calm it was yesterday. You watch how fluent the team was yesterday. But also, I'm thinking, Gucci, if they come in that game, second half, when they say we are fans, I don't think we would have dropped that standard because the fans would be shouting at them. But also, that also forms another form of violence. And then we told some player they are no longer playing as freely as they want to play.
Okay. Lebza, I'm going to try again. How Wala pass paper is one thing. But how did you go examination hall is the hour? Was this game versus Cape Town Spurs pass papering, wala ko high, go total, arena pressure. Will these players be able to play when the pressures they lead fans? How much do fans influence the team that are on?
Tseba jwa maobane ke fela gore go ya le ka gore ke team e fe re tlalang ka yone ne, but ke nagana gore difene even di le teng maobane maybe ka be re winne mo ma 4-5 plus the player the way di tlo go ba motivated, but re tlo go bona ko pele cause ka Saturday, cause Saturday is the big test for Kevin Jones. Re tla be re le teng go stadium ke tsore ka ticket eno re tla be re ba goeletsa, but bafana ba bannyane ke itumela go le bone like I think maabane ne le blessing gore ba re suspende bikinyana ba re be ko ntle bikinyana re bone Kevin Jones no go batla go dira, and then ka Saturday yes re tlo di etsa diphoso, but sometimes re tshwanetse re support the player. Ke nagana re ke good start for rona, and le nna ke thabile the way ke bone Marte gale ke le hash mo go Marte ke fene ga go, but maabane o berekile ke fela gore ha ka bereka mo ka di forward pass o tla ba right because re tlhoka di forward pass, and le bo ranga Chikavilo ba zame go combine ko pele kwa bodoli, but I think Dolly maabane ba mo tlogetse sekgadi se se telele mane o tshwanetse ka ba mo substitute early, but if o check le ko bankeng o tshwanetse o check gore go na le mang yo ka replaceang Dolly, because tshwanetse ha ke replace Dolly go tshwanetse go ne le mo ball player e ke se bana gore o tlo go etsa bo betere wa bona ya lo taba ya so just like wa bona o replace bo Mudusha Balala a ipule Mudi a zanka a etsa next ba replace bo ba re ke Manqobo a mo replace ka Mdantsane le itle a drop again, motho ke boneng a zama o itle ka wa improve ke Saile ke ene o itle a zama go improve again, but ka Saturday ke big test re tla be re le teng go stadium re tla bona bafana ha tla ba tshela thupa.
Okay. Nakemetse on Kolianda. I keep telling you guys, or Nakemetse on Kolianda. Retlavona Kopili. Thank you, Lebza. Frank, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good brother, how are you?
Me. When 3 points comes in, I hear other Chiefs fans are complaining about things, but wait, when 3 points clocks, I'm happy. Tell me, what are your thoughts about this game? And then secondly, how important are fans? Can this team do the same thing when fans are there? Did the fans not being there make it a little bit easier for them?
Yes. Yeah, I want just to say congratulations to you. No matter whether you got those 3 points, ubambi inhliziyo ezandleni, as long as zingenile. Yes. Congratulations, Mamakos. Firstly, bro, you see, first half, ne? Like yesterday, ngishilo ngithi uyabona i-first half yiyo bekumele i-conclude ini umdlalo wonke. They were supposed to frustrate those small boys of Captain Space in first half. You see the way, but mina ngiyasola uDoli. Udoli. First half nguye umuntu bekumele on the midfielder there. Aqede yonke into asupply uCastillo ngama-balls ukuthi umdlalo wonke uphele. Uyabona uCastillo loDoli yibo abantu bekumele ba-conclude umdlalo first half yonke. But the way uDoli aslow ngakhona angazi ukuthi yini injury yakhe ayingakapheli or imileage seyamudla. I don't know what's going on there. Secondly, yabona i-defense ne, the way they concede those goals ne, no, there is no, but ukuni uhlala abatshela ukuthi switch on, that switch on, guys, that's why me I like Kune. Always uyakutshela ukuthi switch on. That switch on thing is an important thing. I heard you wena izolo uthi these last minutes, you see, and goes for that goal of that small boy of Cape Town City. It comes in just dying minutes where you must concentration ibe khona, concentration ibe khona.
And it's not the first time. We always concede in the critical phases, but critical phases.
Exactly. And lento yama-fans leyo, let me tell you, ama-fans we-Chiefs must have discipline when it comes to this thing. Yabona ama-fans we-Chiefs kwamanje makuthi bale team idlala kahle njenge-Sundowns ne, ama-players, they are going to end up confused. Even ucoach ugcina aba confused. Please, yes, we know Kaizer Chiefs is a big team, but this thing of pressurizing our players, the coach, they must minimize it. They must give coach his role to do in the ground, and them they must celebrate umsebenzi uyenziwe lo coach. Yes. Even yabona izolo ne, it's only about Kevin Johnson usaqala kuhlanganisa i-team. Izolo bekungela raso, bekungenani. Makuthi izolo mafans bayakhona, that game was going to end up draw. Or Cape Town Spurs was going to overcome Chiefs. Get the way babuye ngakhona second half. But Kevin Johnson, let's give him time, because I see some positive things Kevin Johnson.
I'm gonna come back. He just needs to.
Yeah, okay, it's fine, bro.
Just for time. Let me bring this Desho. How are you, my brother?
I'm well, OT, and Nina Ninjanga fit.
Mina, I'm happy. I'm not saying that it's a perfect performance, but I'm happy. Having 30 minutes in smile. Tell me, what did you see from that game, and how much do you think fans not being there affected this game?
Yeah, Mzulu Theo, like I agree with Theo personally, because it's something that Milton Peki once said about ama fans with Chief. I remember he once said, if ama fans azomshaya ngezinto, lento le izothelela kuma-player wabo, and ama-player wabo obvious, ama-player angeke akhiphe lento le mele bayikhiphe lapha egroundini ngoba obviously it's because of fearless, I understand. So I think lento le ine-impact, and I think thina sama fans nathi nami ngiyavuma ngikhona kulawo mebathi hey ubani bani ini. I think it's high time we adapt European style, I understand. We encourage our fans even when he did a mistake. Maybe we should try something like clap our hands and come on boy, and try to push our players. Sisame City nasama fans push ama-player wethu instead ukuthi sekele ukuwabhuwa maybe mewayenza something wrong. I think lento leyo ingayenza ukuthi our players to perform better than baloku baperforma ngakhona thina masibacindezela. I'll typical example, if uzohlezi ushikana nomntwana uhlezi umrasela uhlezi everyday wena ubangela umntwana umsindo, obviously ingqondo yakhe izoba ngale ndlela ukuthi wena umthandi, and then uzoyenza angaba worse than lento leyo. I think we should take some friends, we should take responsibility, sicale ukulandelela ama-player wethu siwakhuthaze by all means, sekele ukuwa-insulta. And what ngawo ama-player akunama-fan, akuna-pressure, but still some of the players like ababi free, like they don't play that football. Yazi makungenama-fan, abanye bayenjoya makunama-fan, but I think good Chiefs, if ama-fan wangekho kanje, they should have produced like a stellar performance. I had individual players laphaya kithi uDove mina I was not sure ngaye for mina it's my opinion and uMarty these days angazi like he's more powerful defensive but ukurida igame like I'm having a problem no Marty naye umsimango for me I think we should bring back umsimango because yazi manje nama-benefit kumele u-enjoy plus like akekho umuntu o-expecte much kuwo ozokurasela laphaya so angazi ukuthi abodove with experience that they have from kuma-Cape Town City angazi ukuthi bathukani because naye sometimes lack of concentration naye uMarty like iyascosta if mawubonile vele izolo njengoba la mashita lawa we-Cape Town Spurs they use ama-wings wabo ukuthi basete so I think we should because we're going to a big game whereby if bazocala uRatomo bacala uLocha angeke baseke labantu laba like bazosiphanisha like I'm telling you so I think kumele balungise labantu laba babe nesibindi sokudlala ngoba ngedebi zobe kunamafan and uyazi ukuthi amafan anjani but I'm trying to encourage amafan ukuthi abuyise i-spirit samaplayer njengoba vele ilenda awusitholi lezi zinto ezitolo ilenda abahlaba izinto instead maybe i-coach bebangasayifuni or i-team abakhulumi ngomuntu oyi-one I remember I watched i-Manchester United ama-fans laphaya mawakhuluma nama-player we-Manchester azami bathi wena nekwazi ukufuni mebabatshela bonke ukuthi nina nazidlisa nina ninje nina niyazidlisa understand ngoba umuntu mekafake i-11 I believe ukuthi one individual player akusuye uyodlisa i-team the whole team I think contribute to losing and also to win ama-games so I think things could change game I think we played well Butiza first stage and I think we should concentrate a lot more kuma first stages, first 10 minutes of the game, last 10 minutes of the game, last 10 minutes of the first half, and then second half, first 10 minutes focus, last 10 minutes we focus. I think I think of brave enough when coming to Lezos into Lezo, but especially when coming to defensive, like khona omunye umuntu mekakhuluma ngokuthi lo ufuna ukukhuluma ngoba ukhune captain ngiyakhumbula you remember
last night
captain ufuna ukukhuluma I think kumele sibe naloyo muntu loyo ozoba vocal lo sazi ukuthi although bonke mele babe vocal but i-focus mele ibe khona ukuthi yazini kube ne-group work kube ne-team leader lapha yazi i-backline iba naleyo team leader if ukhune akakhona ukudlala lapha i-back four yakhe one of the back four mango or udihloko mele lead i-back four lapha understand other than yonke into bhuta ngicabanga ukuthi sidlale kahle mele siluke silungisa akumelanga mele simsupport no-coach wethu even though I think maybe we might lose weekend or singadlala i-draw uyazi ukuthi izinto zinokushintsha but I think we must give Kevin the chance to redeem themselves for the future.
Okay. Before I go to Kolani, I want to jump in. I think in terms of fans, guys, one thing you got to learn is that you're playing for Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs, whether by trophies or whatever people will say, it's the biggest team in the country. You will trend. You do something good, you will be put on the highest of pedestals. You do something bad, you'll be put on the lowest. You'll get attacked, right? So I think that the players need to learn how to play with that. And then as fans ourselves, I've said before that the issue with South African fans in general is that we are maximum minimum. So it's either we are really happy or it's either we're really angry. Now, the reason why I say this is that for me, I'm not saying that last night was the most incredible game we've watched. I'm not saying Guti last night was the best football I've ever seen in my life. What I'm saying is there was a change, a positive change in the team. Yes, with 30 minutes. Yes, you can make you can make comments about the different things that happened within the game. But for the fact that I don't know how many games we've watched where they couldn't put together 6 passes. Just Kutbanigane, man. Doli, Shabalala, no, Shabalala, give it to Ngobo. How many times have we not seen that? So, especially knowing that Kevin Johnson is new. So for me, where I stand on it is, I'm not saying that fans must just be happy just for the sake of being happy. I'm not saying that fans must be angry just for the sake of being angry. I'm saying let's learn to also give credit where credit is due. We can speak about everything else, but let's highlight that, guys, for 30 minutes, Chiefs played a football we had not seen at Chiefs. For 30 minutes. We wish it could be 90. But just think back to last week. Think back to the week before that. Think back to the week before that. Think back to the week before that one. The type of football we were playing. And I think we need to start doing that. It's the same thing I said about Jose. You don't have to go from, yeah, we love him to we hate him. You can go to the middle and say, hey, Mara Jose, I'm going to go, but let's speak about these things. So I feel as fans, that's the thing. My fear is that maybe some of these players are not Chiefs material in terms of maybe they don't do well under the bright lights when there's fans, when there's this, when there's that. And my worry is you're going into Saturday, which is the biggest of games for us in South Africa. You're going into other games where it's not going to be banned fans and empty stadiums. You're going to be facing a lot of pressure. And can they handle that pressure is my question. Can they adapt to the pressure is my question. Kolani, welcome to the show. How are you?
Ngiyaphila futhi ngicela ukubingelela ama-overtakers kuma-live nakwi-panel.
Tanko.
Ngizokubuza nje yize noma ngiyibonele but I'll ask you ukuthi unjani first.
Mina ngi-right, mina. Yo, 7 days yonke, ngingana-stress next 7 days. Yo, hayi ngimnandi mina.
Ngiyakubona ukuthi umnandi. I was just confirming ukuthi lento engiyibonayo yiyo yini.
Mtshele, Xolani, uyibona njani le game? Number 1, and then number 2, ama-fans, how much effect did an empty stadium have kule Chiefs team?
No, man, igame izolo ngiyibuka nje ngehlo lokuba neutral first. Njengoba ngishilo la izolo. First 30 minutes it was impressive on your team side. Mhlawumbe ngaqala futhi ngicommende ucoach wenu uKevin Johnson nge-selection ayenzile the previous game, yabo, because if we coach entsha coming to a new team, mawuzofike your first 11 uzoyishintsha totally, I think you are bound to lose i-dressing room lapho, yabo, because uzotshengisa lapho ukuthi okay shuthi wena ufuna ukuzophatha nje ufike. So wabanika laba kade bevele bedlala wazama implementa like ama-tactics akhe. Okay, fine, wafeyile. So lapho usene-reason ukuthi why should I change this starting 11, uyabo. Ngokwami lokho kukhombisile ukuthi the guy has experience yocoacha kwi-PSL, uyabo. So coming to igame yayizolo, ama-changes bese awenzile awutshengisile umehluko, because first 30 minutes you guys played good football. Into kade ngikhala ngayo ama-combination play siwabonile, though kungaba ngo-90 minutes. A change in personnel siwabonile, like uNgcobo came on, although kutshengisile ukuthi it's been a while engadlali, so that's why uke wadrop egamini. Umfana omncane lo Shabalala came on naye wathola ama-combination play. As for uDoli, I think uDoli first fanele ashaye gym first. I think he's overweight, should go to the gym first, because there's still much from yena first. Experience yaphesheya, the experience nje yokudlala e-Africa from ukudlalela i-Sundowns isakhona first. I don't think uDoli would become inkomo over a few games first. Just kufanele asebenze kwi-gym uzobuya first, yabo. So we've seen abo Andelejali behlala like 4 months besanda kubuya phesheya kwi-Sundowns. Almost half of the season behleli ngaphandle. So wafaka umsebenzi wajima, lose weight, waba right, waqhamuka eseyilojani lesimaziyo. Yabo. So coming what is your second question?
The fans. How much did it affect the game, Izolo, having no fans at the stadium?
Okay, sure. If ama-fans e-factor udlalela i-Kaizer first ngizokusho nje lokucaca, you're not Chiefs material because i-Chiefs idlala i-KZN sigcwele stadium, idlala e-Cape Town sigcwele stadium, everywhere i-Kaizer idlala khona fethu. Yize noma singakuthandi uku-admit-a lokho sisama-fans e-Sundowns ukuthi any game ye-Chiefs it's a home game. I'll give you that, guys. So uma ungakwazi bese ukhandlisha i-pressure yama-fans akho fethu, I think you're not made for i-Kaizer Chiefs. So kufanele uzame enye team fethu, ubone ukuthi wenza njani because i-pressure fethu will always be there. I-Chiefs i-team enkulu enama-fans amaningi fethu. Uma ngibuyela kumdlali like player of the match Izolo, uTheo lampraisayo. Okay, fine. He had a good game. He deserved to be a player of the match. But mase sibheke ukuthi i-counterpart yakhe ikanjani, yabo bedlala nobani, who was his opponent. It was uBuchanan. Buchanan was lazy as well. He only played makuthi ibhola likuyena phethu. Mawuzobheka ibhola lokuqala Chiefs, it was his fault. Yabo uCastillo usuke naye e-center wangena eboxini. Kwashawa i-cross efanele yabo ahlale nomuntu wakhe fethu, or maybe at least make him uncomfortable to ukuthi ahead wahead eyedwa without even trying to challenge him, yabo. So umuntu ekade ekhona lapha esiswini se-Cape Town Spurs ulofana lo so kwi-Super Sports uNel ubedlala yedwa fethu. So uBuchanan fethu is a great player on the ball, but off the ball fethu is so lazy. It's so lazy. But ekade nikudinga nikutholile fethu. You only need
Mina bakugeni 3 points ngi-right for now.
Mase kuthiwa sibeke izinto ekade ngicomplaina ngazo fethu. Let's say mhlawumbe eziwu-5. Combination play, change in personnel, bese kuba yini ama-results. Out of these 3 ungachoose ini. You'll choose i-win. Yabo. Okunye sekuzolandela next game ukuthi okay, let's try and find combination play. Let's try this player akade ngadlala sibone ukuthi kwenzakalani. Nozwane bese uzwane nomncane akanyusa amasokisi fethu. The guy is lazy. Uma nomncane akanyusa amasokisi because i-position yakhe demands i-hard work and aggression.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me go to Usbupela. How are you?
What's that?
Ay, akerasi kajeno man, kenale smile man. Nchayele, how did you see this game, number one?
Yeah.
And then how does having an empty stadium affect the Kaizer Chiefs? Because now I think it helped them.
Stadium these guys cannot lean on Tavaya Hore go stadium and then we'll give our best. Obviously there'll come a point where long defense they come back. So we cannot rely on that. But nonetheless, I think Babilele that thing okay. Defenses are not sharp and they're bent to go stadium. So wherever go along go Shibile are performing, guys. Let's give ourselves that chance or are something reproducing so that whenever they come back, but at least once are. But big up to whatever they did. Defense one next time are solving deal in a good way. It's a South Senior and not the Scatoloria Stadium. It's not good. And then our jump go performance level and stuff. And so Majida Baladiles, I cannot say they've never improved God's on. They did improve. Check the bargain, the third goal.
if you mm. The third goal, there was composure. There was 1-2. There was that thing, okay, re go 18 area, Arska Chahang, Arlalem Polo, and result into a goal. So that's what we should be happy for them, or okay, at least Majida. As much as we always talk about the decision making and stuff, it happened yesterday. Come Tanzan, it did the same thing that we are talking about. You are off balance, you kick the ball. Why? Keep it, Joe. Understand? But overall, I think as Machidan as Ajore, I think Kune has a very big impact to Kaizer Chiefs. And the more they can give him the games, Adal and stuff, because that guy has a leadership mindset and the character ya guy. And if you can check the whole game, he's been shouting, Joe. He's been shouting. It's others 1, 2, and 3. Understand? So if they can get to that point, as Sarulelaga defense department, or like they listen and stuff, they'll be okay. Because Cheka Morgan Gold and stuff, or Bo Mashama Ite, they will listen to the guy. Never Mamela and make sure everything I show is the last man. Obona every move your opponent data. Only understand. So team up to so far, I na improvement. The Barbon sees okay, fine. Coach Uzogete, and then Uzogala changes, and we adhere to that. And then sweet, let's do it. And I got delay like first 11. Like you see, they can play ball. Obviously, refine and then get to a point where okay, Majidar Laling as a team, because now I believe in teamwork. If we as a team, things will be fine. Ucheke, like we haven't been seeing them so much. Abakaya Chansora man Kenang Ronzore. Is there anything here right tune? And I think Mawadi, by the time Robola journalism go practicing, they were listening.
Or they were listening. Hey, Mara. Yeah, guys, let me go back to Zesho. Zesho, very quickly. What is causing the concentration problems at Kaizer Chiefs? Because agent always comes in and says the same thing. First 5 minutes, 5 minutes before halftime, 5 minutes in this first 5 minutes of the second half, last 5 minutes of the game, we concede. Yesterday's bonnet, 30 minutes of very good football. Then 2 times our concentration lapsed. What's going on in concentration at Chiefs?
I think yokuqala like ukuthola ukuthi igame amaliqala nabo 20 minutes lento le ikhosa ukuthi i-focus i-concentration level yabo ayikho that sharp, understand. We conceded a lot of goals kanjalo. I remember sometimes first ama-seconds, it was seconds. I think like i-concentration to mele igcine lapho. Bazokhuluma nama-player ukuthi igame amaliqalile bafethu, akunakuthi kumele siqale sifocus-e sigrinde and then sikhona ukuphusha at least makungadlula 20 minutes nje singaconsideranga, then izinto zizomasha. And especially second half, I think it has something to do physical. It's something to do with physical. If you've watched Umfana Lo, when I'm speaking about physical, if mawubheke i-body yaka ubani Umfana uZwane, heavy. Even if megagijima, you could see ukuthi heavy. Yabona ezinye izinto akusiyibo, as much as nesikhuluma ngomuzi like i-physical thina yethu also thina feeling sasho mina ukuthi lo muntu wona mina ngazi ukuthi ama-player wayenzani ngani nama-injury. And then yabona mawucala futhi ukhathala second half and then bese siyaconsider lento leyo, umkhathalo uza la engcondweni and then i-focus iyayehla and then mayiqeda ukuyehla kanjalo bayasiphanisha. So I think they should work on psychology yabo and then fitness yabo kakhulu ngoba lezo zinto mazingacombine kahle siyalimala. Lezo zinto lezo kumele ziclashe at least 50% kube 100% sikhona ukuthi first minutes of the game, second half sikhona ukuthi sifocus. Even though bakufake for 90 minutes kumele wazi ukuthi energy level yakho yokufocusa ikhona lapho usasegamini ngoba lento leyenza ukuthi like abekho egamini once bakuthathela ibhola enyaweni or lukuphunyuke enyaweni yakho ayikho lapho. You understand? When you do something like that, your mind is not fully there. So I think they should ucoach wethu I think kumele akhulume if la psychologist or yona lento ezothi ingqondo nomuntu we-fitness. I think kumele silungise lapho na Goodman.
Okay. Xolani, very quickly. Concentration. Chiefs lacks concentration. Yesterday was a different type of lack of concentration than our normal one. What's going on in your concentration, the Chiefs, and how do you fix it?
Hey, but let's just give them time, after the win, because as it is, you can't fix it over one game, I think it also comes with inconsistency. We are coach when it comes to picking starting 11 side. So the one says chemistry and October no abadlali so ukudlala ndawo isikhathi esiningi build leyo relationship leyo sometimes omunye uze first mawuzo checker CBD Ukekane would like pass the ball without even checking if Ukama or Dolua uyarun because he knows mangilibambe ngala uyazi ukuthi iyeza phezulu yabo. So it's that thing of like creates a chemistry as abadlali nazali without even to call the ball wazi kahle ukuthi okay mangingathatha le run uzoyifaka phezulu. So when it comes to
Mara, before I go there, do we not let these players off the hook? Pela, I see, abo overthinking football, nabo zesho, nabo kolan badalayo. It's not. These are professional players. So if siyabona ukuthi, hey guys, first 5 minutes, last 5 minutes, or start to kora ngatia deeper. Are we letting them off the hook by not asking them, but guys, nani and bugi and okay guys, this is a pattern, we need to fix it.
I think that's what we do, letting them off the hook because if the ball is not done, surely they will buy ball a bit So they also should like should like take responsibility because I'm a crucial moments again. Towards the end of the first half, we usually concede. So now we're with each other like okay, we should keep focus until we see if we have time. So I think that's about
Okay. Supela. Concentration, Kaizer Chiefs. What happens with Chiefs' concentration? We conceded now 43rd minute within 5 minutes of halftime. We conceded in the 90th minute to Partman within 5 minutes of the game ending. We've had games where we conceded first 5 minutes or 5 minutes after halftime. What's going on with the concentration, Kaizer Chiefs? How do you fix that?
Bona Joe, simple stuff, ne? This is what was happening Maubane co-gaming ele. This is what happened. After they scored the second goal, ne? Khothomile khwabale separation ya department. So it means backline or full back ne dlala ile one. Middle fielder uka cheka, Mart was alone, Joe. All these guys were forward. They wanted to score.
Lili Soko was alone. Lili Soko was alone. That's a man.
Yeah, so the moment department breakdown, like we don't gel together because the first line of defense, the moment they press, the moment they make sure they keep a shape, it means so I think level of concentration I thing firstly. Okay, Now Rabon Roke Timi, Yadala, and the confidence of Abilene Leona, first half on Swar. They want to Rano, Monkaritz a walk over, like it is at the way Batrankati. One understand. But discipline Leona Sansorebo and say, okay, let's score 2 goals. King in Terre, we keep on playing, but we still maintain. Or team is not too much. Understand? So are defending, but we're making sure we keep our team. Escabale the pass escabal polo ze paya ze dlala go kontrene go
Komra.
Argendaring. They are
go
So we should make sure. Yeah, but defense rona iska spana too much, midfielder no iska spana too much, le rona iska spana too much. So the moment we keep a shape kopel remaka, it's an obvious thing, which means winger, the striker, they will never get to a point of crossing the half line by a corner komra, never, because we are keeping the shape. Understand? So if Khotlo that gap you get reading is by fix Baskanga momentum and then Wawanga Wawaisa to another level. If you can take the second goal, the way Korilenga thing, one understand. Ohono Majida, they were off. They were very off. To a point there, almost no, Batamaka Komrao, Nale me walk. One understand. I can check the last. Before the second goal, you Captain Space, this point, the defense, Captain Space, Nenkari Polo, Ifaga Muharfe, Mat was alone.
Yeah.
Only 1-1. Machita go pele, Ava Tropelo Gomra and say, let's help so that team is castrainer. Which means Kimarte and 4 fullbacks. And then Khoto is Akhalan, they can contain those guys. And now I check the wingers of Machita, I kept on space. That's what I Paul Babalat. That's what I Paul Babalat. That's stretch. It's a simple thing. So I have fixed momentum. Plus, let's go in traffic about barricade, fitness level and stuff. They should check those things. Let me tell you, but pose or other king Rolala, Bafechu, and let's put on our A game. The results are good or bad, don't understand. But if or country or fighting spirit realize a team and we're going to help each other and stuff, and then now I feel up to so far as Kolana Abuare. Let's not judge too fast or really mistake the path too much. I don't know chance. Maybe 2-3 games that is all. Okay, standard says some bani, but was keeper and but was improve as well. Understand? And then I think we'll be fine on that.
Okay. No, Spupela, thank you so much for joining me. You know, guys, for me, what I always say is, these are professional players, guys. These are professional players. These are guys that I'm sure, I don't know, we'll have to find out from coaches, but I'm sure they have tactical practices, they have review practices, they have practices where they tell you what you know, it's so wrong, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that, look out for this, look out for that. Can't be that in a game, we know that we concede from the 0 to 10 minutes we concede. 40 to 45 minutes we concede. 45 to 50 minutes we concede. 85 to 90 minutes to concede. At some point, man, somebody has to come in and say, gents, Bugani, even just someone on the pitch, or ring guys, focus. You're telling me that they don't have that at Kaizer Chiefs? Where you go, guys, we know we concede here and here and here. Let's calm down in these moments, right? When we kick off, let's not make it go all the way to the goalkeeper. You know? Same as when now we're in the match, we're 2-0 up. I believe Cape Town Spurs had, I think it was a proper chance, and there was one that flashed across the front of the goal, the face of goal. That was a warning, good guys, Bugan. So was there no one at Chiefs who could go, listen, gents? You know, they used to say about Roy Keane at Manchester United that Roy Keane might not have been the fastest, might not have been the best, but his job was to make sure that the standard stayed here. And the moment we went 2-0 up, everybody dropped and we lost concentration, right? Yaba 2-1. Rare 3-1 in the 83rd minute. Drop concentration 40. 3-2, 90th minute, right? So surely at some point, these teams have to speak to their players and tell them, if we can see it, you're telling me, Guti, stuff song Kaizer Chiefs can't see it, you know? And it's not something that happened once or twice. It carries on happening exactly the same way, but they're not changing anything. And that's what's scary about this football that we're watching, or the guys who are watching play. Let me bring in this panel. Let me just get the last guys in. Abuti, le kae mo? Ankutlwa Abuti. Oh, Abuti Napoleon. Okay, I'm gonna come back. Streets, how are you, my brother?
I'm good, Mr. Uti. How are you, sir?
No, I'm great. I'm fine. I'm happy. Tell me, excuse me, how did you see last night's game? And then also concentration. What's happening at Kaizer Chiefs that they lose this concentration, and how do you fix it?
Last night's game, I saw some nice things, especially the first 20 minutes. They're actually being coached. I'm seeing the thing is the problem that I have is Utoli being on the wing and Ushabalala also being on the wing. I don't think those two players are meant to be there. I know why he's doing it, to allow Castillo to like having Utoli on the wing on the right is to allow Castillo to make those runs into the box and that right half space. So that I understand. But then you are killing Keegan Dolly because he doesn't really run. He doesn't know. I don't even think he wants to play there. That's not his. I don't even think he wants to play because he's more of a creative player now. He doesn't want to hug the wing. So I'd rather have Usaile there. I don't know, like just have Saile there. Saile can do that. It's also I don't know how you compensate for him to the for me now that's not his best position. You also hear he wants to come inside, so you have a lot of players that all want to come inside at once. So if then you meet a team that is like Pirates, that is well structured, I think there's gonna be problems. They're gonna be exposed. And also the thing of inverting Udove, no Frost.
Makes sense.
That one was because the clock was being exposed on the way.
Yes.
And if Saling is gonna play, let me say specifically Saling, if Saling is gonna play, there's gonna be a big problem there. I don't know how he goes about fixing that. And the thing is, what's Dove's like? What would you say is his strength?
Sure, Dove's strength. I'm not actually sure because his defending is a bit suspect. When he inverts, he loses the ball a lot. When he pushes up the wing, he doesn't come back. But I'd say his best strength in left back, he's probably our best pure defender.
Then I'd rather play him in a 3 so that you don't have the clock going to be on the wing. That play then you use Frosla. I would use Frosla to be the one that attacks, and then let Dolly come inside. That way, at least you have Frosla giving you the width. Then you stop those counter attacks because the clock was being exposed, and I don't blame him. I don't think he's comfortable defending the wide area. So I think Johnson also has to fix that. But the first 20
I think
minutes
just to stay there, I think what was also very nice about what we saw with Johnson in the first 30 minutes, or even just after halftime, I think that's why he brought on Modi, so that we have an out-and-out winger, and Dove doesn't push up as much.
Yeah, I think that is better. I think Modi can do that role better than Ubuntu Shabalala. I mean, for me, Namtu should be playing inside where he can combine Nobutoli. But then now you have Unjabulo, you have Ngosen Pileng Mob. So you have a lot of players being crammed in. I don't know how he goes about the derby, Mara. Mteto's still gonna come back, right?
Yeah, Mteto's still gonna come back. I'm actually not sure if he's gonna be back for that game, but I assume he'll be back.
So then, where does Mteto fit in all of that?
Honestly, I'd drop Mart, but we'll see how he plays it.
After that performance, I don't think it would be fair to drop him after that performance.
But how many bad performances I had before that?
Yeah, but he's clearly showing that at least now is coming all right. I would say don't change a winning team. Just give it time and let's see what happens. But the consistency. What was the second question?
The concentration.
Second half it was back to factory settings. Like they didn't want to play. They revert back to what they know best. Just kick the ball long and try to hit on counter attacks. And if you're gonna do that against bigger teams, they're gonna score. So I don't know how Johnson. I think it's the player mentality. That's not even on the coach. The coach can tell the guys pass the ball. But if the players are afraid to pass the ball and afraid to make mistakes, you're gonna have such situations where they stop playing, they start making stupid mistakes. So I think that's down to the players and their mentality. So that mentality has to change.
Okay. Abuti, are you with me? It looks like Abut Napoleon Ageko. Let me see. What's going on? Kalagata, how are you? Oh, Kalagata. Heaven. Data 17. Unjani?
Inhliziyo yami cishe yama.
Ungena ngale yokuqala. Uthini ngale game mara?
Amfethu ngithi igame mina the way ngibone ngakhona, beyimnandi kakhulu. Beyimnandi too much igame. Beyimnandi igame. And le abalandeli lena ukuthi ukungabikho kwabalandeli sibona ngathi khona okusizile noma akhona okusizile. Mina ngeke ngize ngisho ukuthi ukungabikho kwabalandeli kusizile ngoba even ne coach intsha idlala amagame amangakuna abalandeli, adlala amangaki kungenabalandeli. Udlalile 1 kunama fans, wadlala 1 kungenama fans. So le abalandeli angeke ngisho kakhulu ukuthi the way game ibe ngakhona into abalandeli isebenze kanjani or ayisebenzanga kanjani. Into engayisho yileyo.
But then i-concentration ye-team yakho uyibona njani leyo ngoba hlezi ba consider boma 40-45. Qhubeka.
No, into engibona ukuthi le game ezolo basuke bayithatha lula yabo. Basuke bayidelela bayithatha kancane. Bathe bajabula bona ngokwabo before kuphela u90 minutes bese beyibona sebeyinile igame. And the very same thing yenzakala kuthina njengabalandeli mayisithi uyinika 1 nabo mabengalida baba excited the way sebangakhona nathi bejike bekhohle ukuthi igame ayikaphili. Iyabathaya nayo leyo. And ukuba khona kukakhune noduli kanye nongcobo noShabalala kusizile kakhulu. Okay, ukhune noduli basizile ngokuthi ba amasinya. Kukwenza ukuthi ukhululeke mawuzosurrounda abantu ozobathemba. Ngoba phela uPeterson uzothola ukuthi kufanele umdlaleli back pass. Uzokwesaba kumdlaleli back pass. Mawuzobuka izinto akazenza umdlalo ama back pass ngoba kuzothiwani ubenga ikhiphi ngani ngaphandle leli bhola wayenekeza uPeterson. Bengabheka ukuthi umnikeze ngendlela eright. Ukudlala nomuntu ongazumthemba akukho right. And i-defense mangithi ngabuka sisenenkinga lapha nemoto. Base confused ngaphandle kuka umuntu odlalayo into ebonakalayo straight. Igame negame uthi uhloko. Yabona ihloko. Zamshidela ngadlala. And nama combination umsimanga mamudlalisa. Udlale nokusaba ukuthi mangenza imistake ukhona nangu kukhona ungcobo ngapha bazongithatha bangibeke ngaphandle befaka ungcobo. And mawusaba ngeke uzwenza izinto eziright. Uzokwenza ama mistake. Ngoba udlala uchecka ngemuva uyasaba. Uyasaba.
Okay.
So ngicabanga ukuthi manje ngaphinde bebuye ngale starting lineup ngegame elandelayo bengenza kangcono amachita beke banikeza ngoba ukuthi namhlanje uyadlala kusasa udlale awusazi ukuthi wenze kahle noma wenza ngakahle yabo. kumele ukuthi ama-Chiefs ake bawanikeze isikhathi more especially ukhune igame negame uyakhonsida kahle ahle engakhonsidi kodwa uma ungamnikeza nje amagame noma ayi-5 ukumdlalisa nje azi ukuthi uyadlala mudala mos ngeke ezesabe uzoba right
Okay, ithi ngizobuya let me
mawubuya uza kulena yama-youngsters
ngifuna youngsters nama-substitution ngiyeza
okay
Balebe Kutso, you know, before I let you jump in, hey, I got a glimpse of what you feel like when you are defending Hugo Bruce. Hey, we don't want to acknowledge the nice things, man. But anyway, how are you, my brother?
I'm well, how are you, Mr. OT?
I'm good. Tell me, how did you see the game? And then I want to ask you, concentration. What do you think is causing these lapses at Kaizer Chiefs that have happened game on game? And how do you fix it?
All right. I just also want to greet my overthinkers, okay? Just to acknowledge them, you know. Sometimes I just dive in and I don't acknowledge my overthinkers. So going to a game, the game was good first half. Excellent, if I may, until score about 2-0.
Yeah.
I understand. And then, you know, umntana shower endlini. Even when things are going well, they always wonder, hey, where's the club gonna come from? They always looking or hey, is the light on? You understand? Even when they are okay watching TV, when they hear that sound of the car, they start running. You don't know which you know. So what I think happened, they got to 2-0 and they thought, yo, something must go wrong. And this is too good. The opponents are dead. There are no threats. You know what? Let's create a threat. Let's assist them. Go normal. And Cape Town Spurs get a goal. Still, even after a goal, they're not really threatening as such during the first half. But Chiefs going to halftime, when they come back out, got that mentality at trauma. You understand? They defend immediately. Immediately, you see about winning the ball at the back, where you put our chance. There's no need. You've got this. So what I think it's still a process that they have to go through to be reminded, which chance you've got this. It's not unusual for a player like you to be ahead during a game. One understand? Yeah. So for now, it's just a mental issue. On the table, we saw you coaching. It came to the fore. I think Chiefs can somewhat look to it and say, okay, it's possible. We've got a good coach here. On the table, we saw player ability. I believe most of the players performed, even though some people will make you understand why certain players get a preference. People always question why Ushanti, and then what again. 2 games Nyanda is comfortable. He's just kicking the ball and the ball comes back to him from the air. He kicks it again. He's like, the ball. You understand? So sometimes you can see why Ushanti is scheming. Because some people they are full of jokes. But all in all, it wasn't a bad game. Issue your concentration, I would point out.
Oh, Baba Mtetwa. Whenever you talk, Baba Mtetwa, I reach my goals. Thank you, guys.
And then, Peterson, yesterday, I saw Peterson on the field. And let me explain. You see those goals taken in? Peterson would have pulled out some top-notch saves. Especially the second goal. For some reason, next thing goal. I'm telling you, none of those goals would have went in. But you would have created something for the opponent or flipped the ball for no reason. So going into it, if you wanna ask me, I go in Kakune chance because Peterson was got something. He will save and save and save. Even like last minute, he will say, chance. you deserve something. Bambangaji. So that's what we got.
I'm gonna come back. Streets, let's talk about the substitutions and let's talk about the youngsters. Does this make the argument that Abo Ngobo, Abo Shabalala, all these guys that have been chilling on the bench should have been playing some of these games, should have been given more game time? And then secondly, the subs, man. Hey, when he made the subs, everything fell apart.
Yeah, I mean, that one is on Unsake. I mean, I don't understand. Them two one is the one that I don't understand why he had to relegate him to MDC, because he was Kaizer Chiefs' best player last season compared to the others. So even if his performances were not up to par, at least have him on the bench, because I don't understand why you'd play. Who was play? Okay, I know Modi had a good season. Marabopotan also didn't do much, so that didn't make any sense. So also Ngob, at least it gives you something different from what you have. I don't think Unseki took that into account, that at least Ngob can make a final pass. He's a creative player. Unseki and Anjay just wanted his own players. So I think that killed him. And I think Calvin Johnson should continue with these youngsters. Just keep giving them a chance. I think this game, at least they've proved that they have some hunger. So at least you must continue with them. And what was the second question?
Oh, the second question was about substitutions. When he made those changes, everything fell apart.
Them 2-1 is the one I didn't understand, because he was the danger. The amount of times they were tackling him, it's like they wanted to break him. He was their danger. So that one I didn't understand. Also, Mtansan has been on a decline. If you watch his stats at the Cape Town Seeds, just Kaizer Chiefs signed him when he was not at the peak of his powers. So I don't expect much from him. He's been on a decline, and those performances yesterday, the decision making. Two times in that game, there was a chance where you were supposed to cross it, I think, to was it Usaile?
Yeah. That breakaway,
Yeah, he didn't even look up. Mara, he's a senior player. He's 28 now. We expect him to. This should be basic for him.
Mara, you feel the same way about Umodi?
Yeah, Umodi has never. These players are not superstars. They're not superstars. They're average players. For me, they're average players. So even expecting high from them is just I'm just dreaming, because they've never shown the ability they've never shown the ability to constantly have good decision making. So to expect much from them is it's a stretch for me.
Okay. That's 17. I'm a youngsters, man. Does this prove good? Abo Shabalala, and also lama substitute awenzile. I understand. How do we feel about that?
Ama-youngsters kumele ngabe kade dlala, and the time ngikhathe bengisasho ukuthi ngokubuka kwami uShabalala noNgcobo uNkosi Ngiphile, they are no longer youngsters. Seba amaplayer amadala labantu laba. Akuseyona ama-youngsters. And ngiyafeyila uku-understand ukuthi why bathatha uShabalala baze bamusa ku-MDC, ngoba uyena umuntu ekade edlala. Uma uzobuka uDole maye kunoShabalala eduze kwakhe uyadlala. And izolo bekukhona noNgcobo badlalile even more, bakwazi ukuhlanganisa amaphasini. So ngiyafeyila uku-understand ukuthi why bebebahlalisa phansi, or bese kuyilento yokuthi iChiefs isidlala ngabafana abancane, kumele bedlalise abantu abadala, ngoba bengikutshela izolo i-social media izoba bhayizisa makuzobheka thina ukuthi thini. Sithi abafana abancane bayadlisa, bayabakhipha, bese bekhiphe nabafana abarong. Ama-youngsters mina kwi-Chiefs engibonayo ukuthi kumele bamlone. Uyabona uHadebe uslow kakhulu, ayikho into angasinikeza yona. Sibona bebonke wena one umuntu engidisappointayo uHadebe. Laba abanye hayi ba-right, ngoba even uMashiyane uma ungamfaka uzodlala. Dayile egcini lokudlala, uma umfaka uzodlala.
Okay. Malume Kuzo, should the youngsters have gotten a chance? And I know, man, we keep putting Unkosi Ngiphile Ngcobo in the youngsters box, even though it's been there for a very long time. Does this prove that maybe, man, even at Chiefs, you need to start playing these youngsters and give them a proper go at this? And then secondly, Substitutions. Hey, everything fell apart when those substitutions were made. What's your take?
Firstly, don't feel guilty, man. He's still young. Plus, he has a baby face, so it's okay.
Young PS 27.
Yeah, and he's 23. He actually started even younger. Being exposed to what MTC. I think he was 15 or 16. So that's why it feels like an eternity. But he's fairly young. Umdu is straight up young. But there's a difference even between the two guys. And there's a difference between Umdu, Du Shabalala, and Mtanzang. Personality. The big-headedness, the arrogance that Umdu comes with. And by big-headed, I'm not saying you are rude to people. No, I'm talking about where do you get the guts to think the audacity. That's the word. Where do you get the audacity to think now you can come into the PSL first day and no pass us right? That's what Umdu will do. You understand? Umdu no Ratomo, they mirror each other. That's why sometimes it becomes very difficult. Actually, their age becomes an obstacle when you assess them. You say, I know he's still young, but when it's game time, you're like, no. I still don't know this fucking Umdu. Now you're calling for a footman to come out and you want a card inside. Even King, was it yesterday, 2 days back? People are like, I funegum for King, man. Because the audacity, the character, what Junior used to say, and he would pinpoint some players, and I'd be thinking with that, man, that's unfair, you know? The guy has been having a good season. He's like, no, to say, no, you can be a good player, but are you a Chiefs player? Can you get in Kadabi in your first game? In front of a Mahrutman team, or are you gonna be like, I don't know if Wambona Usem
yeah.
I was shaking.
Yeah.
They brought him up like level. He was shaking.
Even disappeared after.
Disappeared. Even about Preston were like, I even came up Craig Martin. You were like, we're not fainted. This is too much for you. So that character that he comes with, boy, is different. He's got the talent, but not so much the character, which is why you see him to try my shots the whole game. You'll see him demand the ball. You see what we're talking about, Kim Vuedi towards Lodge. Demand the ball from Lodge. We see, let's ball. You understand? Kim Vuedi is like, I'll pass. You understand? So the character boy puts him in there, and I think if he gets a coach who believes in him, and unfortunately, I've seen instances as well where the toxicness of Chiefs fans dictates to a coach Uti just put him away, because there was a point where I remember after the derby, having been there, having witnessed the boy turn it on, having witnessed what I was talking about, showboating, when he decided to dance a Koneni, and immediately Saile got a chance. Straight from there, it cannot be linked directly. But I was there, I saw it, he danced. Abu Maela started shaking, Saile got a chance. You understand? However, 2 weeks later, it was, I know we are Chaiva Pela, Osulum Chuluga, Ekosiras. But when you watch it with an eye to understand it more than an eye to criticize it, you start seeing what Lengana is very effective in whatever he does. He calculates. He sees with the Kenny one, if I activate the Chief supporters, the opponents will definitely start shaking. You understand? He does that seamlessly. So I think with him, I know we want to pay them, but he's a different animal altogether. And then with Kanakiman, the substitutes, it's sad. It's sad. It's a phenomenon that doesn't escape all the PSL teams. We see women Dieta come in every day, ineffective. we see Uzungu come in, break people, ineffective. I think Kana King was the first time where he actually lived up AFL, where he actually changed the game, had a proper impact on the game. We see Ligo Pirates, we had so many subs, I forgot Kibombang. Besides Shandu, the other subs hardly make an impact on the game. Of course, Umfuke, who I've already praised, will always live up to the bill. But most Emma subs in the PSL, it's like they're on WhatsApp or TikTok during the game. They don't watch the game. And then when they come in, they don't affect the game. You understand? It's like even if you know how Lintwan, all you wanna do is play.
Yes.
Whether it's losing, whether the team is winning, you don't care. You just wanna play. So when you have to come in as a sub, Lintwan, you don't even listen to the coach. You're just saying, coach is busy saying, hey, you're breaking in. It's like they are not listening to the coach. They are not watching the game. They only become activated as soon as the coach says, Kuto, stand up. That's the only time they want to listen. That's the only time they want to assess. So it's not only down to Umtanzane, Pule Modi, and all the other subs. It's like a PSL thing. And credit to Usaile, did well. He scored. I mean, that's what you want from a sub.
We've been saying already that one. Super sub.
Super sub.
15 minutes is all he needs.
That's his game. He trains for 15 minutes. If you give him more than that, Yamshula. So great stuff great stuff from Yena Usaile. And then Pule Modi, I feel for him. I feel for him because there's only one other player who plays like that. And that other player is lucky to be accommodated. Of course, he earned his stripes. Opule Modi now he's a replica of Uloch. He just wants to do things at his time, whenever he wants to. You understand? And unfortunately, he's playing for a team where he has not proven himself, firstly. He has not earned his stripes, and the team also has pressing issues more than just looking after him. They have to actually get results, you understand? He must just play for Bafana and be Tembazwane there because the Chiefs there are you know the thing about he's giving Mama Lukaku vibes. Where we think this is Lukaku left Chelsea, became a hero elsewhere, came back to King factory settings. Same goes for Pogba. Well, Pogba was good, besides the unfair criticism, but he was not the Pogba he was for Juventus that left Man United. So sometimes what is home is not conducive for you, and I think Tanzania falls perfectly into that. Chiefs is just not his team.
Okay. I'm gonna jump in. I think on the youngsters, you have to have a plan, guys. You have to have a plan. Kosing Pilengop has been at Kaizer Chiefs, maybe, I think this is his 5th season at Kaizer Chiefs. And I know there were injuries and things like that, but you have to know that, okay, Magabuya, how do we put him in? Because at this point, this is meant to be his team. Shabalala played very well in the Atazwane. Beginning of last season, Atazwane season, then Umtseki was like, I don't see a plan for you. I'm gonna even make you play DDC games. Which I don't understand, right? So at some point you need to try these guys. And I think I'm happy Kevin Johnson. I don't know how he's gonna play in the future, but I'm happy that he's looking at them and giving them chances. One of the questions I asked guys at the beginning of the season when we were busy signing these guys was, are we gonna sit in a situation where we've got another Nkosing Pilengcobo who's a very good player, but then we've signed Danzani on top of him, Castillo on top of him. We've signed so many players on top of him. Are we going to sit with a situation like Mashiane, where Mashiane was a good player, got the red card in the final, Wafiga bo Santi, Wafiga bo Tove, Wafiga bo Zbanbani, and players go missing. You look at Uzwane naye. Fine, Uzwane corner. People are saying Uzwane is the one. Uvalo abo Mart, uvalo abo Stebe. Now unomthetho sekafigile. you have to have a plan on how to integrate these players into teams. And I'm glad, and sometimes that plan takes a little bit of courage. And I don't think Chiefs has that courage it used to have. Yes, we didn't bring in 1 million development players, but the guys that we did bring in, we trusted. So seeing Abumdu going back to what DDC was very tough to watch. I'm glad that coach is bringing him in and he's playing, and I'm glad that maybe he might be able to have a chance to prove himself as a Chiefs fan fully, as a Chiefs player fully. No, if he can create a situation around Ngobo where he gets that chance, I think we're looking at very good players. In terms of substitutions, the point of the 5 substitutions was that you could change the game, or not even the point. But one of the things we saw, especially in Europe, is that, man, when the 5 players come in, that's Bachinchi game. It's 5 players. It's almost half a team that you can change during games. And as Umalume Kutsa has said, we don't see those things changing. We don't see coaches have plans for the people who they're bringing on. You know, Jose will sub Shandu and Munyani. Like for like, we always speak about that, for example. Tanzani, we don't know where he fits in this team. Umodi, we don't know where he fits in this team. There's these substitution things where we don't change the game, we don't change how we play, we're just making them for the sake of making them. And I think those things in the PSL need to come to an end, man. You need to change the game, man. Theo Kwana in the comments, we made a joke even in the WhatsApp group that, guys, maybe now it's time for my bomb squad. Maybe now it's time to go. I played with Dupré first half. Second half, I'm in the last 20 minutes. Ngenu Gonzalez, Ngenu Chivavairo. Skipper my midfielder, City were crossing. You get what I mean? Like, change the game. And we don't see that in the PSL. And what worries me is the understanding of your personnel. Excuse me. You have to have a specific understanding of your players in order to be able to change something, man. But if you're not changing the game, how much have you studied these guys that you have on the bench? What's the point of having 30 people if you can't make substitutions that can maybe change the game, or make a lineup that makes these guys look good when they come off the bench? But anyway, guys, tomorrow is the members only live. So you will still be able to watch it, but you will not be able to comment or add your voice as normal. Thank you to the panels that have come in today. To become a member, you join on YouTube. It's 20 Rand a month. Cheapest one is 20 Rand a month. You also get access to our WhatsApp group, which is where if you listen to Abo Malume Kutsa, Abo Streets, Abo Theo, that's where we have these conversations in full there, and a lot more deeper. So join there. Please follow this account, follow the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And then, I'll see you guys. All the shows are available in full on Facebook and on YouTube. The show is on Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon. Monday to Wednesday in the evening at 8 p.m. We're also back. You get to hear from all the incredible panels that we have. It's not just reviews of games, guys. We also speak about really pressing issues within South African football and football as a whole. So watch those previous episodes. They're very, very good. You will enjoy them. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this. I'll be back tomorrow, 12:30, members only live. That runs through WhatsApp. You guys will be able to watch it on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube as usual. But the voices you will hear will come from the contributing members on the WhatsApp group. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys then tomorrow, 12:30.